We're getting some seed trays going because gardening season is right around the corner. Now, as I remember when I was a kid, we always had a garden, and I remember the ladies from church coming over, and I remember all them gathering around, and we'd be snapping beans, and they'd be freezing corn, canning, and all that kind of fun stuff, and I hated it. And I hated working in the garden, I hated hoeing in the garden, but you know what? As I've gotten older, I found myself going back to the old ways, and I really, really enjoy it. I don't know what's happened to me. So I've got a starter tray here. Some of them have little pieces of, it's almost like a peat moss, and when you put moisture in it, it expands. You can just kind of bust it up, put warm water in it. And the important thing here is not to get it too wet. I'm gonna drop some seeds in, and on the back of most of your seed bags, you'll have a little chart to show you, a little picture of the United States to show you what zones you're in. And it'll usually say when to plant it, how many weeks before you actually plan to put them out. Now we know that we can be prone to frost pretty late here in Kentucky, but I'm gonna go ahead and get everything started. Now the important thing is, once I put my seeds in here, I'm not gonna directly put it in the light. I'm gonna cover it up. I may even put newspaper over the top of it and set it aside, not a real wet, well-lit area. I'm gonna keep checking on. When I see something starting to sprout, then I'm gonna put it in the light and let it get as much sun as it possibly can. I'm gonna put it out in our atrium, which faces the south, once they get up and rolling. And I'm gonna put a humidifier out there to make sure I got plenty of moisture in the air. All right, let me get some more water, and maybe all these ready to go. I'm going to take these trays and I'm going to put my cabbage and my basil. I'm going to put half of it cabbage, half of it basil, because I like my cabbage. I'm going to open my basil seeds up. Now I've got this soil nice and moist. All right, I'm going to take my little basil seeds and put them out right here where I can see them. Look like little poppy seeds. Now I'm going to take a couple. I'm going to put 2 or 3 in each one. Now I'm going to come back and I'm just going to put like 1/8 of an inch of dirt over top of that. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece of package that says sweet basil on it. I'm going to mark this over here. I'm going to take now this is again your starting mix. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of that, about 1/8 of an inch over that. You don't want to put too much or it'll prevent it growing. Just enough to cover it up, 1/8 of an inch at the most. Now I'll take a little bit of water and put on top of that, and need a little sprayer too. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the right hand side, or as you're looking at the left hand side. I'm going to put my cabbage seeds in here, put a little dirt on top of that, and I'm telling you what, we'll track the progress of these, and you can kind of watch with me as we go along. And here's our cabbage seeds. All right, I'm going to come back with one final spray. Just get it nice and damp. I don't want to overdo it. Got my tomatoes planted. I got my basil planted. I got some cabbage planted. Now that's a good start, but you know what? I haven't even begun to fight. I've got so much stuff to plant. I'm going to have me a monster garden this year. Every year my garden gets bigger and bigger. We're going to cover these up, set them out of light, prepare for them to grow.